we can say this week's very, 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 very special guest, Hannah. And then Hannah.
You guys really
Ooh,
did no
everyone-
preparation for this, huh?
Thanks.
Hi, welcome to... No, okay. Hi, I'm Winter.
I'm Styx.
Hi, I'm Winter.
And I'm Styx. I'm sorry.
And this is... definitely a podcast.
Definitely a podcast.
Oh my...
Don't worry too much about the lack of preparedness. These two have never done it before. As the editor, I'd like to welcome you to Definitely a Podcast with your hosts, Winter and Styx, for our pilot episode.
Oh no.
Okay, we're doing that and it's going to get better as we go along, okay?
Yeah, practice makes perfect, you guys. And this week's this week's super duper special favoritism guest is it's Hannah. There is favoritism. You're lying to yourself. Hannah, say hi.
Hannah. Hannah.
Winter.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi.
Hi,
Great to know
hiya,
I'm the
girly.
favorite.
Okay. So the theme of this episode, we're going to be looking at r/am I the asshole.
Yes.
Whoever's reading is going to read out the title of it first. We're going to react to the title. We're going to say whether we think they are the asshole. Then we're going to read it paragraph. Yeah.
You're making it sound like this is a game show. Please stop talking.
Yeah, what's
It
the
is
prize?
a game show. Life is
Do I get a prize?
No.
You get the prize of being you.
You get to be really sad.
That doesn't.
I mean,
change
I
anything.
do get to forever have the pride of knowing that
You get to know that you were our
More
first
feminine.
choice. You were our
I
you were our
forever-
first choice.
Yeah, I forever have the pride of knowing that not only am I the first, but as of right now, I'm the best guest on this podcast.
You're also the
because
worst.
there's no other competition. Winter? Let's not get into it.
Well,
It's amazing. Okay,
Right.
Reddit.
we're gonna
we
we're
have
gonna read
to-
paragraph and paragraph and just react after each paragraph. Okay.
I'm gonna scroll for a bit. We'll take turns.
Cool. Am I the asshole for refusing to cook dinner for my stepmother and her guests after she's been refusing to let me eat the food she cooks?
What are we sorting by so I can get it myself?
And we're
I'm
sorting by
not
hot.
sorting. I'm not sorting at all.
No, at the
You
top.
are-
Is it hot?
It's
You or
sorted by
top?
hot. It's sorted by hot. I'm sorting by hot. That's my turn.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wait. This
I'm
one could be
thinking not the
interesting.
asshole.
Okay. Hannah, what do you think?
I'm, to be honest, struggling to comprehend the title. Am I the asshole for refusing to cook dinner for my stepmother and her guests after she's been refusing to let me eat the food she cooks? I mean, I feel like not the asshole. If she's not letting you eat the food that she's cooking, why would you cook for her?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if she's letting you eat the food she's cooking, why would you let her eat the food you're cooking? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that made sense.
Yeah, that was great.
What-
All right.
Hannah, what are you doing
brilliant.
to us? That made sense. That was a coherent sentence. What are you doing? That's not allowed here. This is your fault.
I bring stability wherever I go.
coherent with an
We don't
apostrophe
want
stability.
we don't want your stability. Go away. Take your stability elsewhere. This is
All right. Well, good luck finding another guest.
Wait, no.
We
I
have
guys
literally a
did
list.
Great podcast.
we have a
We do.
Discord React list.
We do have a list, actually. But you're not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do we want to get into the rest of the post?
Yeah, that
we
would be a
probably
good
should
idea.
do that.
I'll read the first paragraph. 16 male here. My dad married my stepmom about a year ago. She didn't want me to live here and wants me gone. I've insisted that I should stay as I don't want to live with my mom because her husband is a piece of work, and so we're always clashing.
Well, that sounds still not very the asshole.
Yeah,
there's kind of no
content
information.
Give us something to react
So far.
to. What is it?
Like this is
No distribution
very
9566. Yeah.
I was thinking we shouldn't announce the username, but okay.
Well,
you.
The post has just been put into the podcast chat, so I think it's too late for that.
She announced last month that she wouldn't allow me to eat anything she cooks or cook anything that she buys, and I should arrange my own food completely separately, down to the ingredient level, including salt, because I'm not her problem to deal with. This is annoying, but
that's neglect.
It is neglect.
Yes. That is illegal. That is jail behavior.
It's a bit stank, bruv, innit?
It is, indeed it is.
That is jailable behavior. Good for the stepmother, I guess.
Fatherless behavior.
So I'm really cold, so I'm just gonna go put on a hoodie. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Nerd.
Right. Well, wow. Styx is really tearing down the schedule of this podcast.
Yeah.
First they're late by like 20 minutes. Then we've gotta like work through an intro.
Yes, Lynn.
Hello.
The poster is 16. 16 male.
The poster is a child.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. More.
This is annoying, but anyway, I can handle it, and I didn't want to act entitled, so I started buying and cooking my own food. We've been going like this since then. Since then, meaning since last month. Okay, so we agree that this is neglectful. It's a bitch.
That is jailable behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
OP has done nothing wrong so far, so definitely not
absolutely. Definitely not the asshole so far, but I wonder, like, is it actually neglect because it's a step-parent and not a parent?
I think, if you're a dependent, because I'm actually going to Google that.
She is a legal
My search
guardian.
history is a lot of fun.
I guess it probably depends on if, then she would be a dependent. I just read the top of the post. They are married. So, yeah, she would be a dependent.
Okay. Her sister had an accident a few days ago, and on the day of the accident, stepmother texted me in the afternoon saying she's bringing the sister's children home, and they'll arrive around midnight. Asked me to buy groceries and snacks and make a late dinner for them. I never replied to her and didn't do anything. I had to say that while for a few hours it didn't look good for her sister, and had to go into surgery. It ended up being successful, and she will thankfully make a full recovery. The syntax of that is weird, and I don't like reading it.
Slay for the sister, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, slay for you, girl, but I don't like your sister. I don't like the stepmother, but slay for the sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the children, because they have...
So far, OP has done
Actually, children suck!
Yeah, I mean, I can understand kind of, like, where the stepmother is coming from. Like, she was in a stressful situation, and it's not just food for... Like, I don't know, the title is kind of misleading. It says stepmother and her guests, but it's stepmother and her, like...
Sick sister, yeah.
Well, not only sick sister, but her sick sister's 2 children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it 2 children?
I don't know. It just says it's an unspecified number of children.
Any number is too many.
I agree.
Yeah, no kids.
Yeah. They came, she noticed there's no food, and they indeed were hungry, so she was angry at me. My problem to deal with. Ellipse. And she said I'm being a jerk, and I said, takes one to know one. She ended up ordering pizza.
Ah.
Well, I hate her for ordering pizza.
Why is that?
Yeah, why is that the thing you're zoning in on?
Yeah,
because
why is that
pizza,
the straw that breaks the camel's back for you?
Pizza a bit stank.
Damn, chat is saying that this is probably fake.
Well, we can still react to the sentiment. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah, I will ask. Where where was the dad during all of this? Could the dad not have like cooked food or something?
Yeah, I feel like the dad just doing like a good chunk of the cooking could solve a lot of the problems happening here. Obviously, the stepmother should stop being a bitch, but also
definitely
that would help.
The dad did nothing. The dad's not even mentioned.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where was the dad?
No, the dad's just chilling. The dad's.
I'm sorry, Ace made a great point. The dad is a man and therefore can't cook.
Oh yeah, no, I sorry, I forgot. But that's a really good point, actually.
That's a great point. Never mind. Okay, dad's all good. Dad's not the asshole.
I'd say the dad doesn't want to like endanger his relationship. Also.
True.
Yeah.
Because I'd say if she's this bad to the kid, she's probably not great to him. Dad, you know what? Yes, Ace is making some really good points. We gotta have Ace on next.
Ace a real one, though.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. My dad told me that I was out of line, and I should have just done what she wanted me to do, because it was an emergency. And I should have done a favor for her, and it would have gone a long way to improve the relationship. I told him that our relationship has always been hopeless because she hated me for no reason, so there's nothing I can do that could make her hate me any less, and at this point I've accepted it and don't care anymore. He said it's not true, and I'm now grounded. Grounded for how long, though?
I mean, I feel like any length of time is kind of unnecessary. It's definitely not your responsibility to look after a fully grown adult, regardless of how stressful a situation it is. And, like, OP was 16. I see no reason why OP should be getting any blame.
Yeah, I think... Yeah.
Yeah. OP shouldn't have been grounded at all. What do we think about the dad?
I think the dad's being a little bit of a bitch, and like, I know it's not, he can't like control her behavior, but also he like chose to marry this lady who was like clashing with her kid. He chose to marry someone who was like acting this way towards their child. Like,
yeah.
He could have just, like, broken it off when he saw how she interacted with his children. You know what?
Well, you know, OP is 16, and considering that they have money to buy and they're able to cook food, we do know that they're fairly independent. So maybe he was thinking OP is going to move out in a couple of years.
Yeah, I guess. Still, bitch move.
Yeah, I don't know. I see no reason why OP would be in the blame for not looking after a fully grown woman. Especially when we don't know what the dad was doing during that time. And especially because she came home, saw that there was no food, and was able to just order pizza anyway.
Yeah. Oh, there's some stuff in comments. Someone said not the asshole, why should dad allow this reactions? OP said, Dad pays for the food I buy, although stepmother believes I should pay for it myself because I have an income. Okay.
That's new information.
They should have mentioned that in the post, you dingus.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dad isn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dad's still kind of a bitch for siding with the stepmother in that situation, but I kind of understand it. He probably doesn't want to be on her bad side or anything.
Yeah. Because then he gets no testicle tickles.
That's so true.
Yep.
And without testicle tickles, every relationship above the age of 35 falls apart.
You'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so old.
Yeah, you're ancient. Aged. Decrepit.
Okay.
Indeed.
I think, is that all we have to say about this post, or were we scrolling?
I think we do. I don't think we have anything to say. I have just come across a post. If you'd like to read it.
What's it called?
Wait.
I will send it to you guys if you want to waffle for a minute.
I'd love to waffle.
But
I love waffles. Honestly, waffles are actually no, that's a lie. Waffles are good.
Have you ever had bubble waffles?
Yes.
They're amazing.
There's a really good place for all our Dublin living listeners. There's a really good place in the ILAC that does bubble tea, bubble waffles, and ice cream and candy floss. It's really good.
I could read this post if you guys would like.
6 votes and 75 comments. Oh god.
The other one it said 0 on, so I think that's just.
Can I be sent that, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, okay.
Hannah would have done that.
Well, listen, sharing off Reddit is annoying.
There's 6 votes, but only 3.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Listen, okay, it's fine.
Twitch sent it to me.
I can read this post if you guys would like, and may I suggest, when we're looking for posts, if you search by the top controversial this month, you get some interesting ones.
Some very juicy ones.
Ooh.
So, the title of this one is, Am I the Asshole for Being Upset About My Uncle Prioritizing His Newborn Over Me?
Okay, 2 things. It's your uncle, not your parent. Like, unless like your unless you're like your uncle is your legal guardian, you really shouldn't be that fritzed about them prioritizing their child over you, their nephew.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're super close, you are not their child.
Yes.
100%, I agree. But I do think, Am I the Asshole, kind of a tendency to have really misleading titles.
Yeah. Like it's like,
said.
am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for murdering my entire family? And then they're not the asshole. And it's like, am I the asshole for, like, reading my texts and they're the asshole? It's so weird.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I think let's get into it and get a little bit more context.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'd like to say definitely not the asshole because it's a child. Read.
You make a great point. I'm gonna say probably the asshole, but I've got no context yet. So
yeah,
I'm thinking asshole.
All right.
Also, I just skimmed the post. Apparently, the uncle named their child Jeremiah. I take it back. The uncle is the asshole 100%.
Oh,
all right. No more spoilers. Let's get into it. Since I, 17-year-old male, was about 6 years old, my uncle, 43 male, and I have been super close. We first bonded during the many vacations we took without my parents to Disney or Spain or the beach. When I began to fight with my dad...
NGL.
When I began to fight with my dad, my uncle was there to support me. It felt like what we had was special, and he didn't have it with my older brother, who is 20, or my sister, who's 12. While my older brother responded to his issues with our dad by hiding in his room and ignoring my dad, my uncle encouraged me to speak up about my issues and did not allow my dad to speak to me how he does. It's not that my uncle was filling in as parents that I don't have, because I do have both, but my uncle was really supportive. When I tried to express my issues with my dad to my mom, she would call it his funny way of showing he cares. He's always been very health-focused due to his own health issues, but has turned that into a constant ridicule and fat-shaming.
Hey, that is a lot of information.
That is a lot of information. So there is a strong relationship with this guy and his uncle.
Okay, I have multiple points. Okay, so first of all, that is kind of creepy behavior on the uncle's part. Like, a little bit. Like, not trying to hang out with, the other two, but, just him. Obviously, cool it could be totally wholesome. It could be totally wholesome, but it also could not be, you know? I feel like if I were the parents, I would be a little bit cautious of that.
Say, Styx, are you a pessimist?
Yes.
Really?
You would never know because of my, peppy attitude to everything, but I have clinical anxiety, so I think the worst of everything, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I would still say that there's nothing weird so far on the uncle's behalf.
But that seems like a pretty good setup for some creepy shit.
I mean, I in some ways I agree, but I also do not agree. I mean, this guy says that since he was really young, he was fighting with his dad, and his older brother dealt with it by just hiding away, but his uncle encouraged him to speak up about it. So I don't see anything wrong so far.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, good for the uncle, because this is like an opportunity that like he could be super creepy, but he seems to be just being really chill.
Yeah,
and wholesome and supportive.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we might see more as we go on, so we'll continue. But now everything is different. My uncle has just had a newborn, Jeremiah, and he has spent a lot of less time with me. I'm understanding the hardships that come with single parenting, and I try to help out with the baby as much as possible when I'm around. But even when we are not with the baby, he is less close with me. Often, my uncle will sing to the baby that he is the best in the world. He says it all the time that everyone is just here to visit Jeremiah and that the parties are only for him. On my birthday, my uncle offered to make a cake. I sent him photos of a strawberry shortcake with green frosting. He told me it was cute and would make it, but he ended up buying a vanilla cake for everyone else and a small strawberry cream puff for me, since no one else liked strawberry shortcake. This was upsetting, considering how he offered to make a cake. I didn't ask him to, and it was almost tradition for him to bake cakes for family parties. He spent the whole night only taking photos of the baby. When he posted on Facebook about my birthday, my uncle only posted photos with the baby in it. Another example is when I recently had forgotten to order him a bottle of water from a beach stand. He didn't say anything about it then, but when we got back home, he asked Jeremiah to get him water. He added to the instruction, unlike your cousin. He wasn't even saying it around me, I only heard it through the window. I forgot to mention that at this point the baby is like a year old, so I assume walking and stuff.
Yeah, or like babbling at the very least.
Yeah. I think that's a very like different scenario then. It's not just like a general thing. It's like on this guy's birthday, his uncle just kind of completely ignored him.
It is very different now.
I do stand. Yeah. No, go ahead. My point is just, yeah. Jeremiah is still. Uncle sucks. He named his child Jeremiah. Go ahead.
The uncle, I think, is pretty good. Like, but he doesn't. Okay, so he was only hanging out with OP, right? Right. And not with OP's siblings. What if, like, that's carried over into Jeremiah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. If I'm understanding you correctly.
He's used to only paying attention to one child.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why OP is upset. Especially if it's like a long tradition of his uncle like making cakes for family stuff, and it's his birthday, and he asked for this like very specific cake, and his uncle just didn't bother. I don't see why the uncle would offer in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Um,
overall the uncle doesn't have like too much issue. Like, yeah, it's a little bit annoying that he didn't bake the right cake, but it's not that big of a deal. Other than that, it's just typical like new dad stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Flynn has a really good point in chat. If everyone would like to go check, yeah. Thanks for the excellent point, Flynn.
I would like to know why the uncle waited until 43 to have a child, because I'd say the whole situation is different if it's something to do with infertility.
I have absolutely no idea, because Opie did mention that the uncle is a single father, so I don't know like what that relationship was. See if a comment mentioned it.
Joey said adoption, and I was If so, I feel like
good point, Joey. Slay Joey.
I feel like the uncle would be far more attached to the baby because, I mean, he's been presumably unable to have a baby before this, and so he's resorted to adoption. So he's been through a lot to get this baby. That sounds like such a weird thing to say. And it was probably quite hard to get the baby. Again, weird to say, but okay.
So this is all assuming that it is. This is all assuming that it is adoption.
Yeah.
Oh, also, on the point of being a single father, like, it's not like he can just ignore, like, have the child be taken care of by, like, a partner, because he's single, so he would have to do, like, all of the work himself. So it's really not fair to be like, oh my god, my uncle isn't paying attention to me because he's the lone parent of this child. Like, that is a bitch move.
And I just realized, OP's parents, as the uncle knows, are bad parents. So the uncle is probably trying as hard as he can to be really close to Jeremiah, like.
Yeah, like, the uncle probably doesn't want to be, like, whichever of OP's parents are his sibling.
Exactly.
Just by the way, I'm reading through comments, and OP mentioned that Jeremiah's mother opted to not be in the picture, and he lives in a house with OP's uncle and grandparents and 3 cousins, so it is most likely a surrogate mother or adoption.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but when you said she lives in a house, I was so tempted to say she lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Alright, well, let's get deeper into the post and see if there's any more bullshit to sift through. I told my mom how I felt and gave these examples. She laughed at me and told me how it was supposed to be. I was always going to be second to my uncle's hypothetical baby, and now that Jeremiah is real, my uncle has less attention for me. Would I be the asshole if I said something to my uncle about how I miss our friendship, or is my man the asshole for disregarding my emotions? I think that I might be the asshole because it would add stress to my friendship with my uncle, and that he could take it as me not liking having Jeremiah around. And then there's an edit at the end. Just to clarify, it is not that I want my uncle to prioritize me over Jeremiah. It's just that it has been a hard adjustment to go from being at his house for a week straight and him telling me that he would always be there for me, to him only giving me attention when I'm babysitting or it is relevant to the baby. It went really well for him. It really went from all to nothing, and I wish there was more balance.
I think that OP's parents are the assholes here.
Absolutely.
Definitely. They are assholes. But is OP an asshole? Or is it the uncle?
I think OP would be the asshole if it wasn't for that edit at the end, talking about how, like, they don't want to be prioritized over Jeremiah. They want to be, like, just, like, acknowledged that there's been a change, which is, like, totally fair. Especially, like, going from, like, a super close relationship, like, practically father-son, to, like, only being acknowledged, like, some of the time. Exactly. That's, like, a big jump.
Especially considering that that OP's parents aren't good.
Yeah. And then OP described the relationship with his uncle as a friendship, so I feel like it wasn't like a father-son relationship. It was just that it was someone he could kind of talk to.
Yeah.
And I think I understand where OP is coming from, but I also think, like, you have to acknowledge this man just had a newborn baby at, like, 43. He kind of doesn't have a lot to give to anyone except the baby.
Yeah.
Ouch!
That's like, totally fair.
No, like, ouch on the uncle.
I see.
Savage burn. I probably should have clarified that it was the uncle, because I just yelled.
I thought like you stepped on a bee or something.
Savage stung.
Why?
My dog
stepped on a bee.
Listen, I'm struggling to remember exactly who, but someone's been saying it all day on the server, and I just wanted to make reference to it.
Okay.
Also, Ace is making a very good point.
As per usual.
The uncle is a father, so obviously they can't cook for the child.
Oh,
so,
you're right.
So obviously the thing with the cake was that, like, the uncle couldn't make the cake, and they offered out of, like, muscle memory, but, like, they remembered, and they were like, oh my god, I can't make this cake now because, like, I can't cook because I'm a father.
Especially a single father.
Yeah. Single dad.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of confused by the single dad thing, because in that comment, Opie mentioned that the baby lives in a house with his uncle and grandparents. I'm wondering, does Opie mean like OP's aunt, uncle, and grandparents, or the baby's aunt, uncle, and grandparents?
I think OP's grandparents.
I haven't a clue.
Tangled synapses. 1, I love your name. 2, we know that the kid isn't adopted, but the mother is out of the picture.
Yeah.
Tangled synapse is an excellent name. I have to say
it is fantastic. I found another post. It's kind of long, so I'll try and speed through it. But it's tagged with "everyone sucks," so this could be interesting.
What's the what are we searching? Like, what's the? I'm not very. I don't know.
It's okay.
What?
It's okay.
Terminology.
I can hijack this one. I'm on Reddit.
Oh no. What's the title?
It is. I'm in the middle of sending it, and I hate sending things directly from Discord. There, Winter, you should have it.
Okay.
All right. So the title.
You could have just recited the URL out loud, but okay, fair enough.
Sorry. Well, the title is: Would I be the asshole for telling my sister I don't want to live with her because of how she treats my pets?
You're no Kara Fever Antigo.
I'm sorry, Six. You might cut it for all of that.
It's I don't want to live with you in Spanish. I can also do your wife doesn't want to live with you, and your girlfriend or husband, boyfriend.
I see.
Or just she.
Well, okay, I'll just give the first paragraph. We can get the context on the people and what the pets are and such.
I feel like Jake should know that, like, the flair on this is everyone sucks here. So
the flair is everyone sucks. So you're immediately wrong. Everyone here is according to Reddit, everyone here is the asshole. But we'll give our own.
Reddit is always Reddit's always.
And hear it. Definitely a podcast. Definitely didn't forget the name of the podcast. Here at Definitely a Podcast, we absolutely hate tradition and popular opinion and anything that other people like. Let's get reading.
All right.
We don't like other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it begins. Yeah, it begins.
We hate you.
For context, I, 26, non-binary, live with my 2 partners, male 23 and male 22, along with my sister, female 23. When we first moved away to uni, it was me and my sister with our 2 gerbils. It's now been 3 years.
Gerbils.
It's gerbils. The gerbils are bound to not be treated well. That's just how it happens.
Okay.
It's like hamsters.
Gerbils like the asshole.
Can I...
Another amazing take from Ace.
Yes, another fantastic one, as per usual.
I feel like we should make a sticker that just says "fantastic take," and we react it to every single message Ace sends.
Yes. Also, I forget if it's gerbils or guinea pigs or hamsters or whatever. It's one of the 3, but I've heard stories about them dying horrifyingly easily. Yeah. Like
hamsters always die.
There's stuff like my dad took a picture of my hamster with flash and it had a heart attack and died.
Yeah. Hamsters never die from like old age or illness. They always die because they like fell out a car window.
My hamster fell onto the barbecue and my dad was making bugs.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jake had a
cannibal gerbil.
My god.
Cannibal gerbil. That's amazing.
That is fantastic.
Thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
It ate another
thanks, tail. You wonderful. What a wonderful editor we have with all of these excellent takes. Fantastic take, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. Alright, let's continue. So, to start with, she never paid for anything the gerbils needed. Whenever I stopped overnight at my 22-year-old boyfriend's house, I needed to make sure they had food and water because she couldn't be bothered to check. Then I started spending a couple days a week at his house, as they were ours, and I paid for everything we thought she could be trusted. Sorry, this is awful grammar. Then I started spending a couple of days a week at his house, as they were ours, and I paid for everything we thought that she could be trusted to top up. like the food and water. That sentence makes no
Yeah.
sense. I had to paraphrase that. I came back a few times
Sorry.
to find that she left them to starve because she forgot they were there.
How? Don't they make like so much noise?
I'm not sure.
Like, aren't they like I once was into my friend's house when this was hamsters, so it could be different, but they were just like constantly
They are
squeaking.
quite
We had to
loud,
like change
yeah.
rooms like twice. How did you just like
okay.
forget, quote unquote, forget?
Yeah, okay,
That's-
but even aside from that, obviously, sister is the asshole immediately.
Yeah,
but-
asshole behavior.
Wait,
At
what if
least the
like
sister.
what
But-
if during college the sister got bitten by a radioactive deaf person?
What?
All right, Winter, we're gonna ignore that one. But regardless of any of like the sister being an asshole, because that's obvious. If she has repeatedly not cared for them, why would you continue to put her in charge of them?
Yeah. Like I'm not blaming them, obviously, but like maybe cop on.
Because as Ace said, yet another amazing take. Hamsters, and I'm gonna add gerbils to this list. Gerbils are close to Satan. OP was being one of the Lord's great humans and participating in religiousity and stopping the
Religion.
gerbils. Stopping the
You can
gerbils
do it. I believe in you.
living so that Satan cannot live as well. Thank you.
Right, let's
That
continue.
was a
'cause it's
TED
long.
talk for sure.
That was a very TED talk.
It was, but I'm gonna continue with the post because it is quite long. I took them to the vets for a checkup and explained what had happened, and I also took complete ownership of the gerbils, much to my sister's disgust. And me and my 22-year-old boyfriend started to care for them. My
Yes?
sister started taking a much more active role with them after pleading for a second chance. Took them home last Christmas after much begging on her end. When they came home, they were skittish, breathing oddly, and underweight. Their bedding hadn't been changed in a month, and they'd barely been getting by, despite the fact I'd given her everything they needed. I told her to keep the hell away from them then. I will just say I apologize for weird pauses in this, but this is not typed well, and I'm trying to figure out how to.
It is
Make it-
abysmal.
I'm sure. I guess like English isn't their first language or something.
I assume so.
Well, they have gerbils.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, for sure, Winter.
That's yeah.
I'm racist against gerbils. What can I say? Except for that I'm racist against gerbils. And what can I say? I can say a lot of things actually.
You're gerbilist.
I am gerbilism. I'm gonna add an Urban Dictionary entry for that.
While you do that, I'll continue.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
should plug the podcast on that.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god, I
Entry.
should do that now. I was gonna
Do
do
it.
it before
Do it,
now, but
sure.
I mean after now, but I'm gonna do it now. If
Do
I
it
can
right now.
spell urban dictionnaire. Urban dictionnaire.
So, when
Dictionary.
OP's second partner moved in with them and their first partner, so there's a 22-year-old boyfriend and a 23-year-old boyfriend. So when the 23-year-old boyfriend moved in, OP's original gerbil was being hand-fed due to failing health. Both my partners work, and I am disabled. Due to this, my sister was allowed to help with the feeding, and there were a couple of incidents of my gerbil doing leaps of faith, but he was okay. Always caught except one time, which occurred under her watch. We are unsure if that one time was what led to us having him put to sleep or not, and the vet advised us to keep an eye on his brother. Due to this, we all took turns having him out and interacting with him. We also have a hamster who has his cage right next to him, and they chitter away quite happily when he's not out. He seems to be doing good, except struggling to keep weight on, as he's an old boy now, 3.5 years. So we've took to giving him a hand feed once a night.
I'm gerbilist too, but that's quite cute.
Yeah, I mean, Gerbil is clearly not in good health, and the sister is definitely not helping. But again, I don't know why you would just keep putting her in charge of them.
Yeah.
Ace is spitting amazing takes right now, by the way, you guys. You should, like, check in chat. Amazing takes by Ace.
Yeah, death will follow hamsters. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's, like, straight facts. Or, like, gay facts, whatever. I'm so funny, you guys. That's the most original joke ever.
Really, really funny.
I know.
Fantastically done. Alright, I'll finish off this post now. Now, to the issue that's caused this. My sister came to me last night and said he'd almost fell, but she caught him, and asked me to check if he was okay. Then tonight, she told me he fell badly. He's alright, but his mouth is understandably tender, and he's very grouchy. So we referring to, like, Opie and their two boyfriends.
Yeah.
Maybe the assholes, as the three of us kicked off at her, we realized she'd been on her phone and not paying any attention, as she told us this, and I've since said she's not to go near either pet. Now, would I be the asshole if I tell my sister that after 3 years of this and her general attitude of she can do no wrong, that come July next year, I don't want to live with her and she needs friends somewhere?
No.
Okay.
I think this
She's
is
neglecting your pet?
Yeah, there's a definite, like, difference between telling her to stay away from your gerbil and hamster and telling her to, like, leave your house.
I don't think they're the asshole for kicking the sister out, but I think they're the asshole for continuing to let her harm the pets.
Yeah, but, I think, like, if you're willing to shunt the responsibility off of yourself and give it to your sister, who you know isn't going to do it properly, I don't know why you think then, like, removing your sister from the equation is going to result in you being any more responsible for that pet, because obviously you're not responsible for that pet.
The only thing OP's really done wrong... wait.
Hello again, a little intermission from your friendly neighbourhood editor over here. This whole part I am flicking through and speeding through very quickly because, to be perfectly honest, they just spent 4 minutes telling me how good I am, which was completely unprovoked. I promise I don't have a gun to their heads. And about plugging the podcast on the podcast they are currently talking on. There's nothing really else to say. I'm just flicking through this part very quickly. Yeah, enjoy the rest of it.
So we can move on to a new post if we'd like. I think we've kind of said everything we need to say about the gerbils. The tag was right. Everyone's the asshole.
Reddit was correct.
Reddit was in fact correct. I don't see any good in any of those people.
What about
That's
the
so
boyfriend?
crazy.
I mean, I think the boyfriends, it's not really their responsibility.
Yeah, the boyfriends are doing the best they can.
Yeah.
So how are they an asshole?
They were not in the question. The question is...
They're background characters. They're background characters.
Yeah, they're
background
essential.
Characters.
They're essential to the plot, but they're not under fire currently.
Yeah, under fire. Best way to...
You cannot cut our flattery.
Try me.
I think Jake, as
we are appreciating you genuinely. That's not very nice.
As the editor can cut
and definitely
whatever
not
Jake
sarcastic.
We were being genuine, and it didn't sound at all forced.
Alright, well, guys, we can move on to another post. I found a short one here, which
short one.
I think will maybe create a lot of conversation. So I'm not even going to stop with the title. I'm going to get through the whole thing, and then
Can you tell us what the post is though? So
that's I will read the title, and you can go look for it. It's really short.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that she can't get manga?
Oh.
So OP is a 45-year-old male. So my daughter, who's 18, is just about to graduate high school. For her graduation, she wanted some manga, which I'm not sure why. She said all her friends are into it, but I just don't understand why. It seems like such a childish medium, and I can't understand why a young adult would be into that. I told my daughter that I wouldn't be getting her this manga, and that I'd gladly get her something that was. My daughter walked away and locked herself in her room. My husband's now seeing that I'm being ridiculous and to let my daughter have one. I just don't want her to be bullied for liking something so weird. Am I the asshole?
Okay.
You're not just the asshole, you're a hypocrite. You're saying she can't have something childish like manga. You're on fucking Reddit.
You're on Reddit.
2 things.
Bruh.
Number 1, why is manga in quotation marks? Why are there quotation marks? The second, she is not going to get bullied. Like,
manga is the 3rd coolest thing in existence.
Yeah.
First being all, second being what?
Second being me.
Mm-hmm.
And 4th being Jake.
Mm-hmm.
First being...
Oh, yeah. Jake's
Jake.
like 0.
Yeah. No, Jake is top of the top. But yeah, I don't like this guy. I thought that this... We definitely can. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this one because I feel like it is something that we can generate a lot of conversation from. And I feel like kind of all relate to and understand maybe parents or older people not understanding stuff that we're into, and I think this is a great one to get chat involved in.
Exactly.
Okay, chat. What do you guys think about this? Chat? Was that as seamless as it felt?
At least the dad is productive because
Absolutely.
the other dads have not been doing anything.
Yeah, Kian, I agree. Kian said, I don't care if the daughter was into Teletubbies. Let people be interested in what they want. I don't think it should be any of your business what your daughter's into. You asked her what she wanted and she told you. If you're not willing to purchase that, then why did you ask in the first place?
Precisely. Wow. We don't even have to say anything.
We don't have to say anything.
You're stealing the show.
We can just let chat talk for themselves.
Chat, what do you...
I scrolled down to the very bottom comment and it's, can't she just pirate it?
I mean, I think, yeah, she probably could pirate it, but she probably has been, and I imagine the reason she asked for it is because she wanted a physical copy. Well, I mean,
or she wants to support the creators.
That too, but I know from experience that, like, with my favorite manga and anime, yeah, I've pirated it, but it's kind of a different vibe to have a physical copy.
Yeah. Also, books smell good.
Oh my god, yes!
Do smell good. Books smell great. Yeah,
yeah.
There was quite a bit of sidetracking there.
Yeah. I feel like at a certain point we should just kind of let it be free talking so we don't have to overwork our poor editor. You're gonna be in your room until 2 a.m. cutting
Jake does that anyway.
out of this.
Jake does that anyway.
Okay. And we're back. Hi.
Yeah, I think definitely not letting your daughter invest in something she's interested in just because you don't get it is kind of shitty.
Only a little bit.
I'm still stuck in the book, by the way.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, so that one was pretty cut and dry.
I just wanted I just wanted to give chat something to talk about.
Okay, should we move on to doing something else? We need to keep in the general theme of gay facts about hamsters. So, but I feel like we've kind of exhausted Am I the Asshole?
I think we can definitely find some interesting Am I the Asshole posts. Alright, so I found another post on Am I the Asshole, and reading the title makes me think this could go either way, depending on the circumstances. So the title, am I the asshole for telling my son he deserved his girlfriend breaking up with him?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
a wee bit.
I mean, it sounds like a yes immediately, but then again, we have seen a trend of aliens very misleading titles. So, first paragraph, it begins. So, my son had a long-distance girlfriend recently for about 2 years. She was great, a really nice girl, and we all loved her and welcomed her with open arms. She was flying here constantly to visit him, like a weekend a month, and he didn't lift a finger to go visit her.
Wait, does it say how old they are?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I tried talking to him about it several times and told him he should really start looking into flying over to her instead of expecting her to do all the traveling. He said no, and my wife probably had something to do with it, as she constantly told him she was afraid of him flying. I spoke to them both and said that this girl is great for him. She was willing to move over to our country too, but said there was one condition, and that was he'd have to fly over to her country as well, which is fair enough. He said no, he didn't want to fly or travel anywhere. My son was becoming lazier and lazier, eventually telling his girlfriend and us that he was perfectly fine never traveling anywhere, including holidays, etc. So this is what I'm talking about when I say misleading titles, because immediately, the parent is not the asshole.
Okay, so basically,
to summarize so far, long distance girlfriend keeps flying to visit this guy like 4 times a month, but he has never visited her and says that he's just not really bothered to travel.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So last week he told us she's dumped him. I went on her Facebook page as we're all still friends. She wrote us an apology letter about how she's upset it didn't work out, but these things happen, so we're on good terms. And it looks like she's with a new guy already. Me and my wife have no doubt she was seeing him while still in a relationship with my son. I confessed to them both that I actually agree with her decision and he should have expected it. He did not treat her properly, and I hope he learns lessons for the next one because he needs to make more of an effort. I said he deserves it for his lack of effort in the relationship and for essentially just allowing this girl to spend all her money and time coming here all the time. My wife and son are very upset that I said that. Very, very upset. My wife says I'm being... Am I the asshole? I stand by what I said.
Sorry, Hannah, you cut out. My wife says what?
My wife says I'm being horrible. Am I the asshole? I stand by what I said. Okay, so I'm looking at comments, and the son is 24.
Oh,
so it's not just like a teen, like a teenager who like isn't bothered. This guy is 24, still living with both parents, and just not bothered to go visit his girlfriend.
The dad is not the asshole.
Yeah, definitely not.
The girlfriend should not, definitely not, have been seeing that other guy. If OP is correct about that. Because that's just a fucked up thing to do, you bitch. But the son is also an asshole because obvious reasons. Yeah, like Kian said, should the dad have said it to his son?
I mean, I think I 100% agree with everything OP is saying, but would I have said it to the son? Probably not. I think, regardless of how much effort or anything the son put in, he obviously still likes this girl, and I think saying that he deserved it is kind of shitty, especially when he's vulnerable like that. Like immediately afterwards. Yeah, definitely should have put it more lightly, but everything he said was 100% correct. Yeah, I don't know. I think OP is like kind of the asshole. I think not a great way to go about it, but I understand why they've said it, and I agree with it.
Exactly. Basically.
Yeah, Ace, I agree. Breaking it to him like that kind of just makes the son think the dad is a dick.
But then there's also the fact that the son is 24. I mean, he's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, living
The
at
son's
home
kind
with
of
both
pathetic.
parents.
It's
Living
justified that the dad would be getting annoyed with the son.
Yeah, I think the dad is definitely in the right. I just think breaking it to the son that way is just kind of asking for trouble, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, on that note, now that every topic we had has been thoroughly discussed and everyone's getting a little bit tired at the end of it, we decided to call it here. We'd like to thank you very much for listening to our pilot episode of Definitely a Podcast, and hopefully we'll be with you again shortly with another episode, another topic, and another guest. Thank you everyone, and have a good night, or day.